thing.
I don't know. We're literally going live now. We're live, so...
White.
Hello. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. And with this, boom.
Welcome to the Geek Battle Zone. We discuss comics and puny minds are blown. We debate Marvel versus DC, Skeletor, X-Men, and Ron Weasley. Judge David slams down the gavel and cap dreams of Henry Cavill. It's a Geek Battle stream, nerd rage as we assemble our Geek Avengers team. Welcome to the Geek Battle party. We are the Justice League and our Batman is Marty. Say hello to Tim as movies are greenlit. Every new movie, Dev's already seen it. Xbox, Star Wars, and Star Wars Star Riders. He-Man, Star Trek, and David loves spiders. We battle as Morrow and Disney loves Blink. And we try to crown the Geek of the Week. It's the Geek Battle Show. Welcome to the Geek Battleground, where we use the Force and the One Ring is found. Cap is wrong about Resident Evil 6. And everyone watch out, cause oh shit, it's Nick. Gerald and Tim and Diz will try to win at the Geek Battle quiz. David and Dave will confuse their crew as they dive in the TARDIS of Doctor Who. Watch out now, we're full of hot takes. Doc Courtney is garbage, but Red Dwarf is great. You love Sega, I love Nintendo, but in the Geek Battle, we are all friendos. Oh, it's a Geek Battle show. Oh, the Geek Battle show. It's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Geek Battle show.
Yes, so hello, welcome to Geek Battle. Geek Battle has returned. It has been a while. I've had some family stuff going on. And guys, seeing you here now, it fills my heart with joy. And the only thing that comes to mind is that line that Lois Lane says at the end of Superman 2. What's been happening in the world? Because I don't know. So you guys are going to have to fill me in and all kinds of stuff. I know Thunderbolts is out. Haven't had a chance to see it. Hopefully will tomorrow. I know there's some new trailers out which we'll check out shortly. For the likes of Superman. I have caught some Doctor Who, but that is as much as I have seen with the entire world. So, with this, Dev, say hello to the people. Give us a random geek trivia fact.
Hello to the people, and my really random geek trivia fact is... James Gunn has completely reworked the DC universe and taken elements from before the extended universe and during and after and melded them into one universe. And you'll see in the upcoming trailers for Peacemaker and stuff that shows it's multiple universes.
Okay, what? So, we will check out this trailer. We won't be able to have the sound on, which is obviously a part of it, with the classic Superman theme still intact. But you're saying that it's cherry-picking bits and pieces from everything that's come before?
Yes.
Ah, okay. Well, we'll definitely get into some of that, because I definitely noticed some of that myself. Tim, say hello to the people.
Hi to the people from North Kingstown, Rhode Island. Pretty close to a even bigger city called Providence, Rhode Island, and the smallest state in the United States. Thanks for coming to Geek Battle. Should I share a geek quiz?
Do it.
Did you know that Kirkland Signature? Sorry, this is a Costco one. Kirkland Signature has some of the best tuna in the world, and also the best boots and soft shell winter jackets. That's because Kirkland Signature private manufactures all of their stuff up to a higher standard, and Costco is one of the most corporately social responsible big box stores in the United States. Woohoo!
Okay, fantastic. I feel that my life is enriched. I don't think we need anything else. So guys, that was our show. Hang on, Cap is joining us. Right, okay, Dev, what did you want to add to that?
United States
Quickly, about Kirkland's signature, I looked. Cap, what is going on? Regarding Kirkland's signature, I looked into them, and they are a manufacturer that gives that makes brand name stuff, but Kirkland is the brand for Costco. So they're premium stuff, but Costco branded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, oh my god, you will not get me started on all the silly things that Kirkland Signature sells. It's only in their Costco stores. I could nerd out on this. David, if you ever come down to the United States, I will take you to a Costco. You can get a hot dog for $1.50 and a big
chicken.
2-bag. Yeah, a giant American-sized bag of Cape Cod potato chips for only probably $5.
Wow. Okay. Well, yeah. Where's the consistency? Speaking of consistency, Dave, say hello to the people.
Hello to the people. Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon to wherever you are hailing from. My name is Dave MC, and my geek fact is not Doctor Who. I know, shocker. It's Star Wars instead. I've been on a Star Wars binge lately. So, in Return of the Jedi, they never say the word Ewok, and they never call Palpatine by his name.
In return, yeah. No, I know this to be true.
Also, I'll throw another one in there because I found this out. So, in Palpatine's office in the prequel trilogy, he has when Revenge of the Sith, he pulls out the lightsaber from his back. In his entire office, there's actually 9 lightsabers that he has stored around his office in the Senate.
Oh,
pretty cool.
Even though he says, I don't like using them because he doesn't really do saber combat. He's more of a Sith sorcerer than he is a martial artist. But saying that, he has at least 9 lightsabers scattered around his office. And if everyone can find them, I'll give you a cookie.
okay. We'll forget that promptly. Right, Capelthave, you are not on screen. What's going on?
Technical difficulties.
I have no idea. 2 weeks, no Geek Battle, and StreamYard said, hello with you, and it signed out all my accounts, and if the settings have changed, I don't know what's going on.
Same, Cap, same. This is why the show started late. I couldn't even remember how to log on.
Yeah, Tim couldn't log in from his car, so he had to go inside.
Yeah.
I'm in the tavern.
Is that Stardew Valley?
No.
Does that mean yes?
No, it's not. It's not Stardew Valley.
You're like, no. I was like, that's definitely a yes.
I'm inside the Yellow Duck Tavern.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
And they are
No particular reason.
And they are serving duck soup.
I've had duck soup.
Hey, look, I've got a black and white duck. It matches my hat.
It's a penguin.
Yeah. Tim actually looking to see where his duck is. I can see that.
I don't have one.
Oh, damn. Right, Cap, do you have a geek fact for us?
Okay, something just came to mind. So in the 40k universe, there are chaos gods related to aspects of life, like, God of War, survival of the fittest, and then Nurgle, acceptance, and then Slanesh, the god of love, and also debauchery. So what they decided to do in the 40k universe, a couple of Grey Knights, basically demon hunters, decided they're going to go to hell in the 40k universe, and they're going to find Slanesh, and they're going to kill her for good. And they go through all 9 hells of 40k universe hell, and they finally find Slanesh, the god of love and debauchery, and when they saw her, they realized, damn it, they're hot!
Slanesh is not the god of love and debauchery. He's a god of horny.
That's the thing with 40k universe. What you think doesn't fuel them also fuels them as well. So if you feel pleasure, even if it's a good kind, it still goes to Slanesh. That's why the Chaos Gods are unbelievable. So when you think of Korn, yeah?
Have you been on the internet again?
Yes, I am. I've been on the 40k
Looking up
internet.
Slanesh porn.
Get off the internet for a while, Cal.
Yeah, there we go.
So with the basic understanding of chaos is, they are basic aspects of whatever happens in the real world. So again, the god of war, Korn, even it's basically a representation of survival of the fittest. So if you like discipline, if you like going to the gym a lot, if you like to being committed, you are fueling Korn, even though you're not planning to.
Corn?
Yes.
Yeah, children of.
Tim?
Blood for the blood god, milk for the
That's
blood
amazing.
I have a question, Cap. Does that mean
Yes.
that when an animal reproduces or engages in reproductive acts, does that help Slaanesh? Does that
Depends
fuel
on how-
Slaanesh's...
Depends on how psychically inclined that animal is. So the warp, basically another dimension that exists with the 40k universe, is basically made up of psychic energies. So when the Eldar do anything, they basically fuel it tenfold. They basically burst Slaanesh because they are very psychically inclined. Humans are also psychic a bit, and that's why their things also has a huge impact on the warp. But if you look at the Tau, like Dave's favorite faction, they have very little impact on the warp. So whatever they do doesn't really count in the warp.
You know what? I want to hear everything Cap just said by Henry Cavill.
Yeah, I don't think we can arrange that just now, but what we can arrange is we have a couple of trailers. I think we should start with Superman. So let's get this on the screen. Let's get our force field.
Cool.
If it'll work. Oh, where's the force field? There we go. Use the force field. Okay, hopefully this is muted. It is. So we're going to see it's a 2-minute, 59-second trailer. Let's give some thoughts along the way. We can rewind it if need be. Okay,
I
so
saw this trailer and I really liked it.
Yeah.
Earlier.
I find it really interesting, just because, like, even the way they started it this time, Lois is interviewing Superman, so it tells us that they're starting off that she already knows who he is. That's it. Interesting.
That saves the awkward conversations later.
No, it could be that she's practicing to interview Superman and Clark.
Do you know what? Imagine if I don't think it is that. That would have been a really clever swerve, just because he does seem to get quite. If they have somehow hidden that within the trailer, that she doesn't know, that would be really clever. Yeah.
Maybe that's how she finds out that he's actually Superman when he gets emotionally outburst. Then she realizes.
Oh, but he doesn't have his glasses on. He doesn't have. She knows. She knows. No glasses. But Cap, that is a really good idea.
I would say because of all the. So when you think about this one, they do bring in a little bit of the political impact of Superman in this one, like it happened in the Snyderverse. And I think James Gunn decided, well, I'm just going to make Snyderverse better and actually do a Superman movie with all the clever political stuff that was woven into Man of Steel and also in Batman vs Superman.
Okay, so something worth bringing up here, as Dev, you were mentioning. Look, the font is very original Superman movie. The way it's flying in with the outlines there.
Yeah.
Fortress. Who's this chick?
Yeah, who is the chick?
It's Lex Luthor's assistant.
Name?
Wait, that's Miss Tessmacher. Miss Tessmacher.
Okay.
You
know the one that she... what's her name?
Okay, so she's only Miss Tessmacher in Smallville. Usually it's mostly Graves.
No, she's Miss Tessmacher in the original movie.
Okay, here's my thing. Why is Mr. Terrific in this? Are we already going to the multiverse aspect? Because Mr. Terrific...
Not multiverse, more building a new Justice League.
So look, yeah, you got Hawkman, you got lanterns, you got all sorts, and you've got everything in this.
I don't know why they have to shoehorn in a tech guy like Cyborg or now Mr. Terrific. Why there has to be a tech guy?
Like a robot guy. Okay, what is that? Yeah. What is the dinosaur? Anyone?
I think it's...
What is the giant dinosaur thing?
Leave him alone. He's looking for work after Jurassic Park.
I think it's if the Superman, the Man of Tomorrow movie, that was basically, the parasite. It just got feeds into it and turns into some sort of dinosaur thing.
Parasite's not in this movie, is he?
Not sure. Because
Wait, go back to the dinosaur, please, and see what it looks like.
Well, it's not actually a dinosaur, it's a Godzilla. It's like a giant Godzilla-looking thing. So I guess it's just... Wait, hang on 1 second. So is that his mother? Is that Martha Kent?
Yeah.
So they have really gone back to the little old lady look rather than like the...
Yeah.
former like leading lady look.
Yeah.
There's a lot of interesting cinematography in this too, because in James Gunn's last Guardians of the Galaxy, it had like a not Moses. It's the biblical story about the animals that go on the boat.
So Noah.
Noah's Ark.
Noah's Ark.
Yeah.
Sorry, God. But in this one, you could see the water being parted when, like Moses does in the Red Sea, and Gunn does a good job of sort of putting a little bit of that into his movies, so that it appeals to the dominant political party in our.
Wait, isn't Superman Jewish?
The Christian nationalists.
Wait, isn't Superman Jewish?
He's an
No,
alien.
what do you mean? Isn't Superman Jewish? How can he be Jewish? He's from Krypton.
No, the writers who did it was two Jewish immigrants who were kind of based off their experience. And
Yeah,
that's
but
why,
that doesn't mean that Superman's Jewish. He's like.
No, that's why all the families of Superman, like Kryptonian families, have Jewish-sounding names. The L's, that kind of leads into it. Although I would say the religiosity in Superman is not that highly shown, mainly because it's a sci-fi thing and not really fantasy or medieval.
There's technically like some analysis and opinion that Superman is like an allegory for Jesus, and Jesus is actually Jewish if you think about it. But I don't know if we can actually. I don't know if it's not something that I have thought about too much, but something that
I actually had an interesting conversation with Sid when we were playing Injustice, when I talked about like religious aspects of like in Superman and stuff like that, and he was like really pissed at the reason why Man of Steel did that, and he was like, they still shoehorning religiosity into Superman. That's not Superman. Matt Murdock is the guy who prays in churches and makes the whole religion his whole aspect. Superman, just sci-fi. Just be sci-fi.
Yeah, I think Matt Murdock's more Catholic though. Like he has the displays of like Catholic guilt and certain things.
I think you're right, but there's zero chance that you think like Smallville and all that. Ma and Pa Kent definitely would be taking him to a church on a Sunday.
Yeah.
But
Definitely.
the thing is, like, we never see that, like, in any cartoons that you watch. I'm not sure. I mean, even Christopher Reeve films, like, that's never like they said, like, Superman is, like, super religious or quotes lines from the Bible or does things, anything remotely doing. I think in Man of Steel, you get poses, and also in Superman Returns, you get, like, the savior posings a lot. But most of the time, Superman has always been Superman, just an average Joe, just being amazing and being a good guy.
Yeah, I think that's also some of what the metaphor and allegory for Superman is just sort of the outsider who is still trying to do his best. He's an immigrant, technically, but he's a white-presenting immigrant. And I think that's, something to discuss in 2025, but he's supposed to represent the best of us and like hope, from my experience.
But also like with Superman, they want it, and it's always been the case of truth, justice, and the American way. So they wouldn't make him specifically one religion, so that he can represent for America certainly all Americans. But then obviously as it's gone more and more global over the decades, I think they've changed that catchphrase. So I can't remember what the new version is, but it isn't truth, justice, and the American way anymore, because they want him to be a global figure. So
in 2000,
they did the same thing for Captain America as well.
That one doesn't work quite so well when his name is Captain America, right?
The thing, like, Superman can get away with that because he's Superman.
Yeah, he's an alien. He's not even American.
2006's Superman Returns, they say, that he still believes in truth, justice, all that stuff. So they took out, the American way in 2006, and they marketed Captain America as the first Avenger in all the countries outside the U.S. So it wasn't Captain America; it was the first Avenger, and then probably a subtitle of Captain America.
Yeah. So look. So
Sorry,
once again,
this makes me laugh when they throw a can at his head. It's like, he's not going to feel it. Why bother?
Well, yeah, this has got some interesting stuff in there. Okay, so look, it's got what's that guy's name? I forget his name. He was
Frank Grillo.
well, yeah, and he was in Captain America as like the bad guy that Crossbones. That's it. Yeah. So it's interesting that we've already got one multiverse aspect there. And the whole point of this, they're saying Superman stopped a war because he decided to, and Lois is questioning him on whether or not he had any right to do that. And okay, so who is that that's able to smash Superman into the ground?
Who's
Ultraman?
Okay.
Oh, right, it was Ultraman.
Yes.
Yay! Brownie points for Dave.
Okay, so again we have buildings being smashed, which was something that was criticised in the Snyderverse. Just that, like, Superman should be able to stop all of this.
Well, maybe it's not him directly doing it, because like
Yeah,
Man of Steel,
potentially,
somewhat
yeah.
directly doing it.
Oh, by the way, the gold Iron Man looking motherfucker is a new character made by James Gunn.
Oh.
Is it played by his brother? Is it played by his brother?
No. but
It's definitely going to be played by James Gunn's brother. He's going to be in there somewhere.
Clearly semi-automatic.
No,
Yeah.
David.
Hey, what happened to
David
Cap?
plays Max Lord.
Max Lord.
Yeah.
Okay.
The person who Pedro Pascal played in Wonder Woman.
Oh, I didn't watch that one.
Wow, I didn't remember he was in Wonder Woman. So, Fortress of Solitude. So, this looks like Lex
That's
Luthor is
the engineer.
invading the
He's the
Fortress of
engineer.
Solitude, right?
Yeah.
And he's... I feel sorry for Crypto just hanging out the Fortress of Solitude all on his own.
They've got such a collection of characters in this, I will say. Like when I saw Metamorpho, I thought,
Yeah.
wow, so they're really going all out with adding so many people into
You
this.
just announced when Metamorpho is.
I think this is going to be good. I can't swear that it's going to be great, but I think you're going to come away from this and you're going to say that was fun.
Also,
When you look at the Guardians of the Galaxy, James Gunn was able to introduce a lot of characters into every movie of that, so he might be able to pull this off.
But I think in Guardians, they kind of had that, like, everyone gets their moment. You know, hopefully they do that as well. Kind of, it's still being a Superman movie, but I hope they get that balance that everyone gets their little moment to shine.
One thing that's always going to be interesting to see how Gunn handles it is, with all of these characters that you're seeing, like, how relevant is Lex Luthor as a villain? Because unless he's just manipulating people, what can... It's not just that he's got to stop Superman. There's literally a dozen other superheroes that could stop Lex Luthor as well.
Maybe he's the president right now.
They do say Mr. President on this, so that'd be interesting. Dev?
okay, so two things. The
What's
lady
the second
that was, like,
thing?
destroying the lab and stuff
Yeah.
is the technician character, is a villain that works for Lex Luthor. And you were saying that Frank Grillo was one of the first Marvel crossovers into DC, but Lex Luthor's played by the Beast.
Well, yeah. No, I didn't say he was like the first or whatever, but it's just like that was the first one we spotted on the trailer.
Yeah. He's gone from having a lot of hair to having no hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really like, as an actor, like, I've seen him do Tolkien. I think he did that movie a lot better.
He was really good in the menu.
I haven't seen The Menu yet. Like,
Oh my god, the menu absolutely sucks. Who mentioned the menu?
That was
I like
dead.
the
The menu is
Yeah.
absolute dog shit. They
Oh,
don't
it
even
was
try
okay.
to save themselves. They don't
good.
even try.
It was okay.
It's
I
like,
liked it.
I'm all resigned to the fact that, we're all going to blow up, or what? Sorry, that's a spoiler or something.
But
Ralph
the burger
Fiennes
scene,
and
the
Andy
burger
Doyle
scene
playing
is
that movie.
beautiful.
The bug,
Cheeseburger.
I like well, Ray Fiennes is a great actor. Doesn't change the fact that the story is shit.
I loved it. I thought it was
Oh my
good.
god.
Dave,
good
calm
movie.
down and have
I
a
haven't
breadless
seen it.
platter.
It was a great recipe for disaster.
Oh my
Have
god.
a breadless platter and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
love
I'll
this
agree. I'll agree with you, David, because I haven't seen it.
Like, Jimmy Mack, God bless his soul, right? He and I debated this from the moment it came out until he passed, unfortunately. But I maintain
That mantle.
that film was awful.
I enjoyed it.
I could make you the best burger that you've ever tasted. It would be like the first burger you ever ate. And then she gets away and everyone else just sits there. It's like,
I
leave.
don't understand why.
Yeah,
Why does he let her get away?
No, I get that he lets her get away. Why don't the other douchebags suddenly make a charge for it as well?
Because
And why
they're
does all his
douchebags.
minions just like, well, we have to go down with the ship?
They want to die for food. Just assuming.
I'm gonna watch this again just so I can come up with a reason for why no one else left. I'm gonna
Yes,
overthink
please,
this.
please help me with this, Tim. Right.
What's the menu as a
I
group?
can't wait. I cannot wait.
We should. We need to find it. We need to. I so wish that there wasn't this copyright issue. We should literally do commentaries for stuff.
Hiroshima Kick and do it.
Right. Okay. We do have something else in our arsenal here.
I'll bring the beer.
And hang on. What is this? Oh yeah,
We had a bunch of
Ironheart.
stuff because the Marvel thing happened yesterday, was it?
What is the Marvel thing?
Uprising? Yeah, Marvel had a launch event yesterday where they showed a bunch of stuff.
No, did they?
Did they?
No,
Right.
I
Okay.
didn't
Let's.
know.
I've been basically out of
I thought
commission
that
for a
was
long
weeks ago,
time.
Bev.
No, the 10-hour Doomsday thing was last month.
No, not Doomsday. I thought they did the whole announcement thing a couple of weeks ago. Like they're announcing the 3 Avengers films because the Ironheart trailer came out today.
3?
That's what they
Yeah.
said. They've got 3 Avengers movies.
What's the third one?
Avengers Doom,
Avengers, no one gives a crap.
No. Okay. Well, I'm interested to know. I know.
Oh wait, is it the world something?
Secret War.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we've known about that and Doomsday for forever. What's the third one?
Refurbished.
That is an excellent question.
Well, okay, because the only thing I can think of, like, hands up here if you've seen Thunderbolts yet.
Yep.
Right, I haven't. I was desperate to see it today. It didn't end up happening. I'll probably see it tomorrow. So the spoiler with it, which I can say because I haven't seen it, this is the weirdest thing. They renamed the movie after its premiere, didn't they?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's...
As
Isn't that
what?
like the weirdest marketing thing? Like, the only other examples I can think of movies that got renamed is when the 2016 Ghostbusters came out, the reboot that was the female-led one. It was just called Ghostbusters. By the time it came out on DVD, it was called Ghostbusters Answer the Call. And then the Tom Cruise movie that's like Groundhog Day, it was called Edge of Tomorrow. And then you just started seeing posters on tube stations where it was called Live, Die, Repeat. Does anyone remember this?
Here's the thing. They've done this repeatedly before, but this is like recently they've started doing it like
When have they
on
done
release.
it? When have they renamed a movie?
Civil War.
Sorry, Civil War. No,
Yeah.
that was before. Because it was Serpent something, right?
Yeah, Except Society, then they changed their name.
Yeah, but not before. They changed its name before it came out. That was like a code name so that people didn't know what the story was.
I think they did it because Batman vs Superman was coming in. They're like, oh, we're gonna team fight with you. I think that's what happened with Civil War.
Yeah, but
like,
I've never heard of it because isn't this just called the New Avengers?
No, I get it because
Yeah.
no one knows what the heck is Thunderbolts, and nobody cared, and they were like, New Avengers, come
Well,
and see it.
why didn't they
It's called the
rename it
Thunderbolts because
before it came out? Because I'm going to go on to... If I
think
go onto
that
my
was the
cinema
time
app now...
because They're named Thunderbolts asterisk from the beginning.
Yeah, so it was always their plan. It was their plan.
The Thunder Avengers are here.
Yeah, look, it's still called Thunderbolts. So this is just like a really mixed messaging thing. Because imagine if you're like you've kind of fallen out of watching the movies, and you're like, "Oh, did you see the new Avengers movie?" And people are like, "Oh, there's a new Avengers movie out. I hadn't even heard of it. It must be crap." That would be my reaction, right?
Well, it's like,
And then
why
you look at the
would they
poster,
rename?
and then you look at the poster, and you're like, "Oh, well, Buck is in it. Who's everyone else?" Right? Oh, there's no Captain America. There's no Hulk.
Why is everyone wearing leather black? Are we going back to the 2000s X-Men?
Yeah, it's a good point. Right.
Well,
Anyway,
if
I
that's the
can't
case,
find
I'm
these.
going to rename Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm going to rename that guy who sits in booth who's horny for Deadpool. The movie.
Wait, is that about yourself?
It's completely... No, shut up. That's
I think it's a cheap marketing tactic. I don't know. They're like, oh, the Thunderbolts are kind of edgy, so let's call them the new Avengers in an asterisk.
Yeah, maybe. Right, let's check out something that is new. Ironheart. I don't know when it's starting.
What is that? What's it about?
So in Wakanda Forever, there you go. They introduced this girl who was at like uni, and she's basically made an Iron Man suit.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I've only seen Wakanda Forever once, so I don't remember any other details about her.
I remember one scene from that movie.
But it's like,
ooh, a bomb.
Why? Like, and remember, this character, this was announced in like 2020. So
yeah.
we waited 5 years for a series, and she's only appeared in one movie.
But that's Marvel at the moment entirely. We've only had Shang-Chi and the Eternals once.
But look, she's like, oh, you're really smart. I'm just going to smash this and then break open a door. Yeah, because that proves Riri Williams' genius right there. I'll smash a window and then I'll break the door open.
I mean, it proved for Paul Rudd.
Well, isn't she getting ventilation when she smashes the window?
I've got no idea.
No, she just smashes the window on the inside of the lift just so she can break the door.
Hey, it's John Lawrence from Hamilton.
Oh, okay. I've never watched Hamilton still.
I need to see that.
Yeah, me
the
neither.
thing is, like, he has been in other movies. He has been in the new Transformer, but like every time I see him, hey, it's John Lawrence from Hamilton. that's the only memorable role I can think of.
But my overall
I
problem
gotta check out this trailer.
Oh, hang on. So her internship abroad, and she was in Wakanda.
Yeah, I watched this and I'm like, what's the story? I don't get it.
Well, I'm sure we'll.
Am I just thick that I just don't get it?
Do you want me to point it down?
It's a Marvel show, which probably means that you'll get to episode 7 of 8 before they reveal who the bad guy is.
It's a show. It's a show, not.
Is it a show?
Movie.
Yeah, it's a show.
Yes, a TV show.
Wait, hold on. So they swapped. Arm Wars was going to be a show, and now it's a movie. And this was going to be a movie, and that's a show.
Well, why not just do Armor Wars? Because then you can have, like, bring back War Machine.
Yeah, Armor Wars.
What is the deal? Okay, so War Machine, didn't he... Do you remember the story with War Machine in Secret...
He's a Skrull.
He was a Skrull for the entirety of Endgame.
So wait, can this one walk? Like, can the human one? Wasn't it the Skrull who became disabled, or...
The human one became disabled, but then when he was in treatment, they swapped him out with a Skrull.
I think this is what happened. Marvel has messed up their universe a lot, and a lot of projects didn't go through while they were messing things up. And now what do I think what they're doing is they're bringing out the projects that were like kind of into the old thing that they were going for, but then they're just putting it out and changing the endings to fit the new narrative that they're going with.
Maybe that's an interesting theory. So, what are they going to do to change this from what?
Probably, I think this is probably going to go to the Kang, something connected to Kang. I think they're going to probably change that, and then everything's changed now. It's not Kang we need to worry about.
Well, do you know, that might be a really good point, because that might explain why everything's felt so disconnected. Because in the last 2 years, if they've had to suddenly take out every Kang reference.
I think they over committed on the TV shows and Disney Plus mainly for content, and they didn't realize how much each director were messing up their whole storyline that they really so hard to build through decades through movies.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point as well. Like, a lot of the problems, obviously Loki heavily involving Kang, that was because of the situation with Jonathan Majors more than the actual show. But WandaVision into Agatha all along just felt like a creative dead end.
Yeah.
But even if they had the actor, I think they would have realized that Kang as a villain was not working.
It was.
I mean,
okay, so Kang in everything except Quantumania was amazing.
Yeah.
Wait, he was only in Quantum Mania.
The other thing that he was in was Loki, and in that thing he did nothing but sit in a freaking chair.
So does Charles Xavier. You don't complain about him.
Okay, so
Because he dies every movie, Dave, so I can't complain about him.
okay, let's just speak about that a
the
second.
Loki series.
Did you say you've not seen Loki, Tim?
No, I liked Kang in the Loki series. I thought in Quantum Mania it was.
Because,
So
again,
Kang in Loki, He Who Remains, right? Technically,
he
wasn't
was
Kang.
a chill one. He was a chill one.
Yeah, he was
After he was
the doofus version that they'd got in season 2. That didn't work for me very much, I'll be honest. And then it was just like the ending where Loki's just like, well, I'm just going to sit in a chair. There you go, and like hold every universe together. Just then we're just going to ignore it. The problem is that if only they hadn't shot that scene at the end of Quantum Mania, and we've said this before, where every single one was Jonathan Majors. Like, if there'd been lots of Kangs and there'd been like 10 or 20 different people,
make Terrence Howard one of them.
could do. Right, bring him back in some way. Okay, imagine if say Terrence Howard, right? Imagine if like the Skrull version of War Machine, when they found the original one, it was just Terrence Howard, and he's like, "Guys, you didn't even recognize me. It was just some other dude. You didn't recognize me all these years."
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Dave.
I was going to say with the Ironheart trailer, I just think that Ironheart really, and this is no disrespect to like the actress or anything, I think Ironheart herself is just a nothing character because the comics didn't do very well, and she only appeared in Wakanda Forever, and even then we don't get the whole like we've had. I know it's a step away because in the comics she was working with Tony, that's how she made the new suit. But in this, I don't get what they're trying to go for with her. Like say, oh, she's a genius at a university. Okay, show me that. But they don't. They don't show her genius aspect. They just
No,
show,
she was raised by the FBI.
But the thing is, like, they say, oh, I read an article with her that she said, like, oh, the difference between Riri and Tony Stark was that Riri built a suit with nothing, and Tony was and I quote, a gajillionaire. When I was like, well, hang on, that's wrong in itself. Because Iron Man's
He built it in a cave.
Suit was built in a cave.
Yeah.
He wasn't a gajillionaire at that point, was he? He built the suit for survival, like to stay
but
alive.
But
But with Riri, I don't get that. I don't get why did you build an Iron Man suit? There's no reason for you to build one.
Hang on, Dave.
Iron Man built one.
Hang on, Dave. Haven't you built a
No,
Dalek? You have built a Dalek.
Let me finish.
Let him finish.
I'm interested in hearing, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to disagree. Go ahead.
But Tony built his suit to escape a desperate situation, right? And Riri built a suit for, as far as we can tell from Wakanda Forever, no reason. Like, literally no reason whatsoever. And I just find that I'm trying to understand, like, with these new characters they're bringing out, I'm trying to understand what they're going for with these characters. But I'm either I'm thick or I'm just like in a like a cynical sense. I'm just not getting it.
Okay, guys, we'll all have our chance on this, but just so we're clear. Okay, it's like, why did she build an Iron Man suit?
She's a bad girl.
Okay, Tim.
It's pretty much what I would think is like, someone maybe the Ironheart character finds themselves like sort of in the same. Maybe they're like poor, and they heard the story of Tony Stark, who's like stuck in a cave with very minimal resources, and then you become like, you're still smart, you're still intelligent, there's still access to these resources. Okay, I'm going to try and do what Tony Stark did. Like, I'm motivated by that ingenuity and creativity, and I want to build a giant suit of armor where I can mess some stuff up. I don't know. That's my
or save people, rather than just mess stuff up,
True.
Yeah.
And save.
That's stuff up.
Dev.
So the reason they got Ironheart in the show is because they're trying to build this whole legacy of Avengers thing where you've got second Black Widow, second Hawkeye, second whatever. And then they looked at the possible future Iron Mans, and there's only 2 available.
Who's the other one?
Ironheart,
Yeah.
and the other one is Iron Lad, who is a Kang variant.
No, you had Spider-Man. He's the only one who had a connection with Tony Stark.
Or
who was the
Pepper.
one crying.
Or War Machine.
Yeah.
Literally, you got War Machine
Or
there.
Iron Patriot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's also War Machine.
I do want to say, 2 things. First of all, when they realized the distinctions between smarts, right? I always wonder, super smart when it comes to things, but still they vary in intelligence when you think about it. Batman is also very intelligent in a lot of things, but he's mostly a detective, a puzzle solver, and that generally kind of adaptive knowledge that he has. But when you think someone like Iron Man, who's more of an engineer, who's more about inventing things, creating things. Shuri, I think, is also the same one, is basically an engineer. Well, when it comes to Hulk, he's basically a radiation expert in a sense with nuclear stuff like that. He can do other things, but in a very lame way, and that's why he made Paul Rudd a baby. But first, the only point that I really want to make when Dave said Ironheart is a lame character, that's the same thing I'll say to Kang. He's lame. He did nothing. Okay.
Did I need to show you what Kang does in every other thing he's in?
Yeah.
Dev, I've seen him appear in the Avengers cartoons that I saw. He was the boring villain of that whole show.
He beat the shit out of everyone without blinking.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He just had a chess match with Iron Man. That's all he did. And all he was
I will put the video in the chat. They can decide.
Nerd rage. Okay. The thing with the reason why you build an intimidating again, Kang was more of the sophisticated. His whole line was, "I'm bad, but what's coming next is worse." Okay, and we were waiting. We were waiting for what is worse. We didn't get a glimpse that gives us, oh shit. When you think of Thanos.
Oh, for a second, I thought Nick was showing up.
No, it's not. With Thanos, we kind of got a mystery, but we did get intimidation when you saw a floating chair and this big, massive Titan sitting around. And the first thing when he appears, he beats up the Hulk, he beats up Thor, and a ship full of Asgardians. That's how you build intimidation. With Kang, you saw him a lot, but he did nothing that would give us intimidation or be afraid of the guy, except for one line. I'm bad. What's coming is worse.
I think He Who Remains was a good introduction. I think the mistake they made was in Ant-Man. For me, who I'm not the comic book guy, all I knew is that Thanos came in and beat up Hulk, like you said. Kang lost a fist fight to Ant-Man, who has no powers. Right, and he didn't even lose it to Ant-Man. They were both in the quantum realm, so it was an even playing field.
He just lost to Paul Rudd.
Exactly. Tim.
Cap, you explained Kang in such a way that I tried to figure out what his whole bad guy shtick was, and it just made me realize it's the same guy, except every time he says I'm bad, he's the least bad version that the Avengers nope, you're done. And then the next Kang comes up I'm bad, but the next guy's no, you're done. And then, maybe Captain Marvel's there, and Kang's oh, I'm super bad, but the next guy's you're done. I would have loved to have seen that.
It's basically doing Skeletor, but without, doing, I will get you next time, He-Man. It's just someone will get you next time, He-Man.
I expect they'll circle back round to Kang at some point.
In that case, it would be, hey, you beat me in a chess match, Iron Man, until we meet again.
Yeah. Dev?
So I spent ages researching Kang and studying him.
Why?
The He Who Remains one is well, like exactly like that, Dave. Especially when I find a female ones. So basically, with all the Kangs, at the end of time, they had a massive war between each other, and the He Who Remains was the most level-headed one that managed to beat the rest of them. But he's also the one that's been in charge for so long. He's mellowed out, so he's no longer as evil. He's more, I'm in charge. I'm not evil. I don't want to destroy anything, etc., etc.
So how is he a villain? Like,
But the other ones are like the one at the end of Loki wasn't bad. The one at the beginning of Loki season 2 was good.
No,
But the other ones are
Deb's saying this one was the general one who managed to beat all the evil ones, but now he's also mellowed out. So you already got the top guy who's mellowed out, and whatever you get is the mellowed out guy beat. Again, you're saying this equation does not add up, what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, because the fight they had takes place like a million years from now.
Yeah, but you need to...
Let me Cap.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it this way. Invincible multiverse. That's the way I'll put it. Because one is good, the rest are bad. And that is Kang. That's what Kang was doing.
Our Mark is He Who Remains.
Yeah, that's how you can basically summarize all of it. One is good, the rest are worse.
Okay.
But
guys.
Right,
I was going to say, as much as I'm getting confused with this, I think we should move on. Right, okay, because the most important thing, perhaps, we have yet to look at.
What is it?
Spider-Man Noir.
Ooh, yes! Yes!
So like Nick Cage, live-action Spider-Man.
Nicolas
Spider-Man.
Cage!
It's a really short spot, but look, that's cool. And they literally just say Spider Noir.
I'm for this.
It's a long way off.
What
Let's
is
just
Sony
take it
doing?
again. So,
but I'm for this.
Nicolas Cage, though, he's going to do this well, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I'm trying to like when you think about it, like Into the Spider-Verse is probably he's the less cageist because he's a cartoon and also a cartoon wearing a mask, so he can't really do his caginess.
Is this a Sony movie?
It's. I don't know. That's a really good point. It must involve them somewhat because
also
it's their casting. I know it's Amazon. It's going to be on Amazon Prime, so it's literally not even going to end up on like Disney Plus. So it's going to be very disconnected from everything else. But this, in a sense, this is like kind of what the whole multiverse thing should have allowed us. Like, it shouldn't just be like, oh yeah, so we're gonna bring in this like Moon Knight and Ms. Marvel and these characters you don't care about. If you've got all of these characters now, it's like, well, let's just do another Spider-Man, but let's try Nicolas Cage in the role, see what happens. That's what you want. It's just
Have
like you want these
fun with
weird things. Go on, Dev.
So the event I was mentioning earlier, where they showed all the announcement of the trailers, was called the Disney Upfront. And I just found it out because breaking news, they just announced Jessica Jones is in season 2 of Daredevil Born Again.
Ooh.
Okay,
so they're going to do Jessica Jones season 3 or 4 or something at some point.
At some point, I think, because she's in Daredevil now.
So it's the Daredevilverse now with Jessica Jones, Iron Fist,
and Punisher.
Cage. Yeah.
Okay, so here are the announcements. Oh gosh, what's this? Right, so we got just go away pop-ups. Wonder Man show, trailers for The Bear. Oh no, this is just other stuff. Only Wonder Man was actually. Chris O'Donnell. Oh, who cares? Right.
Robin.
Yeah, exactly. I can't believe Chris O'Donnell is still a thing.
Who?
Chris O'Donnell
Robin
played
from
Robin
Batman Forever.
in Batman Forever and Batman and Robin.
Oh.
He had that amazing line where he was like, "Holy great Batman," And he's like, the grates have holes in them.
Oh.
No one remember that? Oh,
Yeah.
There's this amazing line in like Batman Forever or Batman and Robin. I forget which one.
Is he the Robin? Is he Robin?
He was Robin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
The movie with the bat nipples and bat butt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were the nipples actually in Batman Forever, or did they just come in
Yes.
Batman
Yes.
Yeah.
and Robin? Bat nipples. What am I looking at?
Oh God! Don't look it up.
David,
It's gone on the
Look at the
internet.
stream.
Don't look on the
Good
internet.
idea.
Bat nipples. No,
The
it's
search
pretty
history
good.
after an episode like this.
Right. Okay, hang on, guys. So you think it's
Oh, God.
pretty good, and then you just see this one bat breastfeeding. There you go.
I told you, stop looking on the internet.
Can't help it. Right. Okay. So,
but you know the funny thing, I think in Batman and Robin that was the first film, right? In that
no,
one,
the Batman
when,
Forever was the first.
okay, in Batman Forever when like his parents died, right? Bruce Wayne adopts him like he does in the cartoons, but Robin is already a grown man, and what is he adopting? That's always the funniest thing. And the way he discovered the Bat Cave was like, Alfred, do you need anything, Master Grayson or something? And he's like, nothing, I'm just gonna play with the stairs, like some kid or something, and it just literally lands in the Bat Cave. But
God, I love the robot chicken, man. I love the
Okay,
robot
I
chicken
need to
stuff.
check this out here, because it says there, interview with the man responsible for Batman and Robin's infamous bat nipples.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it says an interview about this. Val Kilmer, blah, 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 blah. What is there not quote? In the first one, they were just a little blob of clay. It was subtle. It was a blip. But for Batman and Robin, Joel Schumacher loved the nipples, so he said, let's showcase them. Schumacher wanted them sharpened with points. They were also circled, both outer and inner. It was all made into a feature of the Batsuit. I didn't want to do it, but he's the boss. So we sharpened it with a pencil sharpener.
Is this erotica fanfic?
Wow.
Wait,
I
let me
want
call out for it a
erotica.
second. Let me call out for it a second. Boing.
No, it's like, I want nipples that
Jose
can cut
Fernandez.
glass.
Jose Fernandez, the costume designer responsible for the bat nipples.
Jose, wherever you are, my friend.
Oh my god, yeah, I've
Thank
never looked
you.
at them in this much detail. But it's right, there's circles with inner circles.
Why such...
Why are we studying this?
Where's, like, okay, like, I just need to look up the Batman Forever suit, because I couldn't remember. If
It's the 90s.
Yeah, Batman
It's it.
Forever.
It's
Let's
the
see.
90s.
Does he have the nips?
Does he have the nips? That should be the title of the video.
Look, see,
Just
look,
everyone
look,
goes,
look,
what are
look.
you talking about?
His... Oh look, so Batman Forever, Robin does have nipples.
Yeah.
But Batman doesn't.
Imagine. No, think about it, right? Just think like Batman goes, Alfred, is my new armor came from Lucius. Of course, sir, but they have some unusual two things added to them. What are they? Nipples, sir.
Nipples.
Why?
Nipples, Master Bruce.
Okay, let's be
Why?
honest. Other than nipples aside, this is a really good version of the Batman and Robin costume. Do you agree?
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
the suit actually.
Yeah. Oh my god, hang on.
That was,
Yeah.
A very
Yeah.
dangerous web page. What the hell am I on? Bat nipples. I'm getting like pop-ups warning me about this web page. Okay, I'm getting off the phone.
Oh, this is what you typed in on Google search.
Yeah,
I see.
Bat
yeah,
nipples.
David, don't worry, they will pop up.
I bet they will.
Better go incognito.
Yeah.
I think it is maybe I think maybe Robot Chicken should do this. But it's like they actually do something. They shoot out little tasers, nipple tasers. When a Batman is captured and someone's about to remove the mask, bat nipples activate.
There's a multiverse. There's one suit that it does exist like that.
But yeah, one of the things with this. Okay, so remind me, has anyone here watched Red Dwarf?
Not
No.
recently.
Okay, so
Or
in
ever.
Red Dwarf, the robot Crichton, he's like when
It doesn't go
there's
with
an
the age on his
episode
head.
where he becomes human, like he gets put into like some like beam and he gets turned into a human, and then when he's like speaking to the main human in it, he's like so he's like, oh, so what's it like being human? He's like, well, my nipples don't work. And the guy's like, what do you mean, in what way don't work? And he's like, well, my left nipple was used for regulating my body temperature, and my right nipple was used for picking up short-wave radio. And he's like, no matter how much I twist it, I can't get Jazz FM. It's a really good line. So,
Imagine Batman. Imagine Batman.
this is what nipples can be used for.
And on that note, guys, I gotta head out. But thanks for having me. I'm gonna go get some catch some radio tunes.
Yeah, just like keep twisting it, guys.
Just
Yeah. Totally.
Right.
All right, love you guys. Have a good one.
Take care, man.
Bye, dude.
Okay, Dev.
Have you guys seen that video of that award show where Schwarzenegger and DeVito are talking shit about Batman, and it pans over to Michael Keaton?
Yeah.
Being like, come at me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. In the Oscars, right? That was in the Oscars.
I think so.
Like, literally, and Michael Keaton, even in that moment, shows why he should have never been recast as Batman.
Is it because he didn't want to do?
He didn't want to. Did you guys ever see Birdman?
Yeah, Birdman's good.
Yeah.
Birdman.
I used to love
I think
Harvey Birdman, the animated parody show,
Harvey Birdman. I
Yeah.
recognise the name.
where he was a lawyer for every one of the old Hanna-Barbera shows.
Oh yeah, Harvey Birdman.
So, one episode he defends like Shaggy, and the next episode is Secret Squirrel and stuff.
the
Okay, how
weird
does
thing is
Secret
like
Squirrel work? Do people not know that he's a squirrel?
No. His case was he was arrested for flashing people by opening his jacket.
What?
Because remember how he opens his jacket to
he showed his squirrel nipples.
take his tools and stuff.
Yeah.
He got in trouble for flashing people.
Yeah. Okay, good. Now, guys.
Hi.
Hi. It's been a few weeks. There has been a new season of Doctor Who. Who here has seen it? Who wants to give a comment?
Bits and pieces.
Only bits and pieces. Now, what I can say is a couple of weeks ago there was an episode. If you haven't seen, have you seen
What
the
was
one
the good
from 2
episode you were
weeks
talking
ago?
about?
The one where they go back to midnight.
Yes. That was
Yes,
a good
I
episode.
watched that one.
I genuinely think that's the best episode of Doctor Who probably in about the last 5 or 6 years.
I would agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
Like the whole way they set it up and the monsters evolved now. I thought, but they still, if I recall, they still didn't show it, did they?
No, and you shouldn't.
No,
They
that's
really
the beauty
shouldn't.
of it. They
Yeah.
never showed the creature.
Yeah. What you got in it is that. So one thing that was unfortunate is they already did a story years ago with Donna of you got something on your back, and literally it was kind of a bit too close to that, where the monster it was just behind someone, and when you'd see it, I don't know if I can replicate this like with a hand. See if I can do it like with this hand going behind here. You'd spot something and it would just be for like one frame. You'd see something then. So if you pause it on that frame, which I haven't done, you'd see a shape. But when you go back to the original episode on Midnight, and there's like, if you haven't seen it, there's like a spaceship and it's flying to this planet that's like all diamonds or whatever like this. And the Doctor's speaking to two guys in the cockpit, and one of them was just like, wait, look, there was something. And they were like, what? And they literally show you what he's looking at. And he's like, it was just there for a second, it sort of moved. Then he goes, there it is again. And when you look at it, there is nothing. You as an audience member, they show you absolutely nothing. But it was just like, it was so fast, it was a shadow, it moved, and then you never find out really more about it. They kept that element in. They went with a new gimmick. I think it feels a bit unfair to call it a gimmick, but like this idea of if it gets behind you, it latches onto you. Whereas in the first episode, the idea is that when you say something, whoever it's latched onto will copy you. And then within time, you end up speaking in sync. And then within time, it ends up speaking your words before you. It was such a clever idea. I think
they're stealing from SCP Foundation run literature.
I can't comment on that, but I really wish at the end of this episode, they'd just shown that was still a factor in it. Because it could have been like, it gets to that eventually. Or I wish that, because the thing of it's behind you, didn't quite do enough for me. The Doctor still ended up crying, which is a major problem. Cries every single episode. Every single episode. It's meaningless now. Don't know why they do
Is
it.
he chronically depressed?
I don't know. Well,
really
the whole premise was when he separated from David. He was like, you know, you need to let go of your emotions. You need to let go of these things, and he has not stopped crying since he did that.
Dave, is that why they do it?
I don't know if that is the reason, but literally, the Shooty Gatwa says to David Tennant, you know, you need to let go of everything. The Time War, Rose, Sarah, all those people. You need to let go of all those things. That's what you need to do. And yet he has not stopped crying since we have seen him.
Now, I do have to say that emotions, there's a range of them.
There's more than crying.
Know?
Yeah. Exactly.
So, it's a why sadness all the time.
But I'm with you, David. I like that they went back to midnight. I mean, they said, what was it? It's like about 4,000 years or something in the future. The sun's gone out, and obviously the creature has evolved since then. So I can understand why they wouldn't want to go back to the whole it copies you, because it did. Because by the end, it did learn. Because in the end of Midnight, it kind of did already. It was stealing the Doctor's voice, so it was kind of being more human. So that would have been more disconcerting. Like, you don't know who it is, because it's starting to be a bit more human. Yeah, it could still be behind you, like the actual creature could be behind you, but it's learned in the amount of time between Midnight and this episode.
Yeah. So I thought that was really good. They had an episode where it was a Doctor Light episode. Did you see that one with Ruby?
No, I didn't see that one. I was like, okay. Oh, Ruby's back. I'm going to take a nap.
Yeah.
Wait, so they had an episode of Doctor Who with Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Have they gone back to normal now? Is the Doctor actually showing up in episodes?
Is what, Dev?
Is Shooty actually in the episodes now?
Well, he wasn't in that one. Like, the funny thing with that is that it's a fair criticism. In his first season, it was obviously only about 8 episodes long, whereas traditionally, in the new era, it's been about 12 episodes long.
Yeah.
You were like, oh, okay, so there was the 3 David Tennant specials. They counted towards this. But I think this season is 8 episodes long, so it's just they're making less now, generally. But in the 8 episodes of his first season, Shooty Gatwa had 2 Doctor Light episodes, which was insane. And now they've done 1 in this season. But I won't comment on the Ruby episode. What I will comment on is the episode that just happened. I did not follow it at all. I won't say spoilers too much. It was set all in a barbershop. That's like the concept of it. And
hello.
And it was really slow. And did you see Dave? Did you see this one?
Of course I didn't. I'm not allowed to watch Doctor Who anymore.
Oh dear. Right. Well, the only
Wait, why?
I found it incredibly hard to follow. Except there was one scene though, where because there was the thing about the Doctor has to tell his stories because in this barbershop, the monster or whatever that's keeping people there wants people like when you go to the hairdressers, when you go to the barbers, you sit down and you tell your story, and this thing feeds off of stories. So these guys kept having to come up with stories. So they lure the Doctor there because he's got all the stories in the world, and they end up showing all of his past regenerations again, you know. And then there is just one scene where he speaks to a character that showed a new scene of the fugitive Doctor speaking with this character in the past. And I was like, I still don't understand who the fugitive Doctor is, where in the chronology the fugitive Doctor is supposed to have come from. Am I just rabbiting on and like people just don't give a flying shit whatsoever? And nobody cared but me!
But me!
Yeah, there we go.
No. It's just like when as you were talking, I just asked like the question who took away Dave's TV privileges because he said he can't watch Doctor Who anymore.
Yeah.
I will say I won't go into too much detail, but it's just the fact that I did give him a chance. I gave Shooty Gatwa a chance. You know, I always give the new Doctors, you know, and I just found myself not enjoying it so much, and of course I did post reviews and that, and saying I didn't, this is what was good, I didn't like this, didn't like that, and I did get a lot of heat from it, basically saying you're not a Doctor Who fan, you're a bigot, you're this, that, and the other sort of thing, and it didn't help as well. I'm probably misremembering. It was either Russell or Shooty Gatwa that actually said, not directly to me, but to everyone really, if you don't like it, go and touch grass. And I did, and it was very soft.
Well, see, it's an unfortunate thing. One thing that's been unfortunate is because the last couple of Doctors have been big changes. First female Doctor, first black Doctor, even though he's not, because the whole point was the fugitive Doctor was. If you don't like the writing, people think that is for other reasons. But the writing has really been poor. Like this one, The Well, I think it was called, was literally the best episode they've done in years, and it's because they've got a scary monster, really good atmosphere, and it felt like good Doctor Who. But I would say even from the Peter Capaldi or even late Matt Smith era, some of you really had to listen to exposition. Like when you watched, and I'm not saying this was like not the case in old Who, because that's where the whole joke of I've got to reverse the polarity of the neutron flow. It's just like they put into a bit of techno babble here and there, just to explain why you can do stuff, and then you have a sonic screwdriver that can do anything just to get them out of whatever situation. But I would say from the late Matt Smith and so much more throughout the Peter Capaldi era, it would just be that there are episodes where I'm like, I'm really not following what the monster is, because one of the things with the old Russell T Davies era is that his approach would be there'd be a monster, it would repeat a phrase, dilly, dilly, hungry, hungry, exterminate, exterminate, and you'd just know that the Doctor would do something clever and defeat it. But then it started getting a bit trying to be too clever. Then in the Jodie era, it wasn't at all clever. All that Jodie would do, again, this is my take on it, Jodie's she'd have one monologue per episode, where she'd be like, but how did you reverse the force field? That's impossible, unless, no, you couldn't have. You connected them together, and she says something that makes no sense, that just suddenly means that something has happened, but you didn't see how it happened, you just have to accept that it happened.
Random bullshit!
That was absolutely every single Jodie Whittaker story, to the point that she met Time, that looks like her, and I still don't understand it. And then they got rid of every other planet in the universe except for Earth, which is still unresolved. And then they brought in the Timeless Child thing, which suddenly everyone was like, where does this Doctor fit in? They brought her back for like 3 seconds in the most recent episode, and genuinely, the dialogue didn't make any sense. I still don't know who she was or how Shooty Gatwa's 15th Doctor now remembers being her. Like, honestly, the storytelling has become really, really hard to follow.
I definitely agree with you on that one. Like, the story has got very complicated. And I'd say I'd somewhat agree with you in that somewhat near the end of Matt's run, and Peter Capaldi's first season actually kind of made it a lot darker because he was older and it made it a little darker. But then the series directly after that, complete 180 on that one. They made him Matt Smith, basically.
Yeah.
And I'm with you. It was the writing. It was poor decisions on the characters front. Having the Sonic be the key and answer to everything, and with the one thing that bothered me, the most thing that bothered me was having the Jodie Whittaker's Sonic saying, "Oh, I control Dalek technology now with a screwdriver." Went, no, because you cannot control Dalek technology with a screwdriver because they're constantly adapting. They know how to defeat that sort of technology. So why you like for a reconnaissance Dalek that was on Skaro yonks ago makes sense because it would only have a certain design in its head. It wouldn't have Time War capable Dalek schematics in its head. So of course that makes sense. But for a Time War Dalek, having the Sonic disrupt them No, you can't. No, there's no way.
Hey, Dave, I completely agree. I recently watched. Do you remember the Adipose episode?
I love the
There's a moment
Adipose.
in that-
That's so good.
Okay, but hang on. But there is a moment in that where the Doctor's like controlling like a elevator or something, and when Donna gets on it, he's like, "Oh, it's fine. You know, they won't be able to do anything unless they've got an equal sonic device." And then she does, and it's like, so this sonic device, which is defeated by just a sonic pen, it's like this cannot then defeat a Dalek.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree.
No, and then, like I said, I always give the new Doctor a chance. I watched Jodie's first episode, and I thought, okay, well, this is going to be a fun introduction. I want to see where we go from here. But then I just felt like Jodie was trying to be... She was trying to be David, and she was trying to be Matt.
Yes.
Not ignoring Capaldi, she was trying to be... Because every Doctor injects a bit of themselves into it. You know, like John Pertwee was an anti-authoritarian, so you saw that in his character. Tom Baker was bonkers, so he added that into his character. And like you saw elements, like when you get to someone like Sylvester McCoy, he's got elements of Patrick Troughton, but also having his own element of the Doctor as well. You know, they always add on to it.
Yeah.
So when will we have Commando Doctor?
We've already had it. It's the War Doctor.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait,
was he
what
like
do you mean by
bringing to
Commando
Madagascar?
Doctor?
You
Like,
mean
you know,
like Doctor Who in
Skipper
his underwear?
No, like in Skipper from Penguin to Madagascar.
Yeah, War
You know,
Doctor.
Yeah, the War
You know-
Doctor.
Okay, then that's just wondering. The Soldier Doctor. You know.
He was the one that
What?
wanted to blow up Gallifrey. Twice.
Twice.
Next.
Like,
Go on.
I will say, like, the guy who's doing the voice of him for Big Finish right now,
Who is it?
Jonathan Carley, I think is the guy's name.
Doing the voice of the War Doctor.
John
Yeah,
Hurt.
because well, John Hurt did the first War Doctor stories, and then Jonathan and who's the actress who played Leela? Because she's the producer for the War Doctor series, and Jonathan Carley, he's now doing a younger War Doctor, and it sounds so much like John Hurt, and I can't recommend it enough. It's really good.
So does he come up? Does he come up and say "Hasta la vista, baby," and the sonic screwdrivers everyone?
Yeah, I'd be able
No.
to.
What
and I will
was his
say as well
quote
that
in that crossover? Because
well,
10th had I don't see. The other
Yeah.
11th had Geronimo. What did War Doctor say when they
War
when they
Doctor
said
is a
that?
catchphrase.
He had a catchphrase that he said after.
Gallifrey
dude
fought.
said-
Gallifrey stands.
It's like, oh, for God's sake, Gallifrey.
Yeah. Oh, for God's sake, Gallifrey stands.
Yeah.
But the War Doctor doesn't have a catchphrase.
Ah.
The
Wait,
war.
he's only in like one episode. How there's not much to establish it, is it?
Although
Okay,
I will say in the War Doctor series, he does have one catchphrase: "Go away."
That's not
Okay, David. Let's play a game that we did before when you showed me something cool from Doctor Who and I laughed at it. Show me the War Doctor.
Show you the War Doctor.
Show you the War
Yes.
Doctor.
Okay.
Yes, let me
Isn't
rate.
the actor like famous as well? 12 stars.
So
Yeah,
the
you
War
should know
Doctor-
the actor, Cap.
Yeah, you'll know the actor. So look, this is the War Doctor.
That's the War Doctor.
What? That's John Hurt.
Well, he's very, very old.
Yeah, but that's
What?
the
You
idea,
got
right?
It's been
So-
millennia of war. Of
Yeah.
course, you're going to age a few
So
hundred
the
thousand
idea
years.
is, so look. So
Yeah.
the Eighth Doctor.
But-
So here's Paul McGann. He was the Eighth Doctor, and they did a TV movie. They didn't end up making more Doctor Who for about 9 years, I think. But when they rebooted it, well, it wasn't a reboot, but when they brought it back, Christopher Eccleston was the Ninth Doctor, and you never saw how he regenerated from the Eighth. When they came to do the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who, they came up with the idea, because Christopher Eccleston wouldn't come back, of what if there was a Doctor in between the 8th and the 9th that you never knew about, and they then made a 5-minute episode where you saw the 8th Doctor regenerate. But when it happened, they used archive footage of John Hurt from like a movie from the 1970s. He played the Elephant Man. He was the original guy that had the alien burst out his chest in Alien.
Yeah, I put it in chat, Cap.
Yeah, right.
I'll put it in chat.
So they had this clip of him, and then the idea for the duration of the Time War, he was the one fighting it. And the reason why he wasn't the 8th or 9th or 10th or numbered Doctor, he's the one that betrayed the name. So whereas he was literally going to be fighting with guns and stuff and everything that wasn't.
Okay,
so in his first moment, his line is "Doctor no more."
So the thing is, I was expecting something like Liam Neeson.
No.
Liam
So
Neeson
basically,
should
how
be
do
the
you...
Doctor. Hang on,
How
I'm
do
going
you-
to get AI to imagine that.
See, now that's a war doctor.
I'm gonna get
Now
AI
I
that's
don't
to
a
know
war
where you are,
baby.
Davros, but I will find you. And I will kill you.
So how do I put this in ways that Cap will understand? So Doctor Who is usually the good guy. He helps people, right? But the War Doctor spent a few years being Homelander against Daleks.
I can actually sort of step on your shoes a little bit. So he does still kind of have that. He doesn't want anyone to die, but he does. He doesn't. He's willing to go to extremes to stop the Daleks.
Although to
Yeah,
be
so-
fair, going Homelander on exterminate doesn't really seem all
And,
that bad.
I'd like to add on to this. The War Doctor, I like to call him the War Crime Doctor because he's
Explain.
committing war crimes.
No. Shooty Gat was the crying Doctor.
No, war crimes is in.
Oh, war crime. I thought you said war crying.
Explain yourself.
Mass Dalek genocide.
Yeah, but that's
It's
all.
demonetized.
Technically,
Isn't that twice
that was
now?
Rassilon. Technically, that was Rassilon, not the Doctor.
Rassilon ran away.
Rassilon did not run away. Rassilon was revived for the Time War, like the Master
Yeah, so
was
was the
revived.
Master.
The War Master committed a more serious war crime than the Doctor did.
Question. And my knowledge in Doctor Who is very low, but are we talking about the same Daleks and going around wiping everything, calling exterminate?
Yep, same Daleks.
Yep.
Same Daleks.
So my question is, who bloody fucking cares? It's not like the Dalek showing a baby to you and saying, "Oh no, we want a chance to live to raise this little Dalek." It's not the same story. That mega murder machine that goes exterminate.
So that just reminded me of when the Missy nearly tricked the Doctor into killing Clara by saying, "Oh, she's just a Dalek."
Mate, humans
My
can be
point, my
Daleks?
point still stands, Dev. That the Master committed more war crimes than the Doctor did.
Yeah, but that's a Tuesday for him.
Like literally, the Master activated a weapon that changed the entire Time War, and not for the better.
Yeah, but that's why he does on his day off. It's like a regular day for him.
And
No,
that's what
I-
made him run away. So he abandoned the war.
I do have a question, right? Things to like sci-fi things, like in Halo, you have the Flood.
Yes.
I'm guessing in Doctor Who, it's the Daleks. We always have this thing, that endless hunger or endless thing that just want to destroy things. They don't have nothing. They're not multi-complex. They just have flawed programming, or they just overfeed. They have some sort of flaw in them that just want them to, murder or eat or everything, like the Tyrannist, Warhammer 40k. What's the point in wiping them out? How can you say, like, again, the problem is, how can you commit war crimes to the literal xenomorph? It's coming out of your chest.
Because you have to live with the fact you have to nuke the entire nation.
Yeah, but like the idea, like a xenomorph, it doesn't speak. So
It's
the idea
an animal.
Yeah.
Also,
Okay, so Daleks are mega murder techno machines. They're not,
They're
you know.
squids.
How dare you?
Hey, look, if
You leave
anyone,
squids alone.
guys, if anyone can take on the mega squid techno machines, it is Doctor Who Liam Neeson.
Hey!
That would solve Doctor Who in a heartbeat. I want that. Look at that. Look at that. Look, that is what the Peter Capaldi one should have been. That frown. You know, that seriousness.
That looks like Sirius Black from Harry Potter.
No!
No, he's the Doctor.
No.
Gary Oldman.
It's not Gary Oldman.
That looks exactly like Liam Neeson.
Although I think Gary Oldman would also be. I'm not really sure how old is he now, but like in the 2000s, right? Like he played Dracula and stuff. I think he would have been a good Doctor as well, like darker one at least.
Yeah,
No.
look, I think pretty much any really good actor would be able to do a good version of the Doctor. You know, I would love to see Gene Wilder as the Doctor. That would be freaking amazing.
I
play
want
serious, but then the humor as well.
I want to make Rowan Atkinson's version canon.
It is.
Yay! More of that, please.
It's all canon now. Like, yeah, like there. I don't think there's a way for them to say that anything isn't canon with the Timeless Child stuff.
Oh, fucking Timeless Child.
I think the thing is, like, maybe guys, you should ask more and more about Doctor. I'll just show you how to make it cooler, like I did with Liam Neeson Doctor.
Yeah. Okay.
But again, no one has answered the Dalek question. So, are they the Flood? Are they the Tyranids? Are they Chaos? Or are they complex beings?
They're the Terminators.
Like,
Skynet is my dad, Ross.
Okay, so
Same as go everyone.
Terminators are bad. So Terminators are bad. You know?
Yeah,
the
look,
Skynet
no,
is
it's
bad.
not a war crime that they're defending themselves against, like, the
Skynet!
invading aliens that will say that they'll keep going till they're all dead, basically. You know, so...
Yeah, but it's not like, you know, any sort of aliens come to mind who's looking for a place to stay or something like that. And some of them are bad, but some of them are good. That's complex.
No, they're all bad. They're all bad.
Yeah, okay.
There's like two that are good.
The only time that you had like a version of a good Dalek was when they made a hybrid with human, and then the humanity side of it came through. Well, go on. When else?
I'm gonna throw my hand in the ring. There's been more than one instance. You've had the Rebel Daleks from Patrick Troughton's run, where the Doctor injected Daleks with human DNA, and you had the Dalek Civil War, and those ones are still alive. And
But if they got human DNA, it's the same deal.
No. Daleks that are humans. That have the human factor in them. They're still Dalek, but they have the human factor.
Well,
They wanted to know why they kept... No. Let me explain. No. Then you had the human Dalek hybrids.
Yeah.
Then you had them, which were humans with Dalek DNA.
Yeah.
Right? And you got Rusty. Rusty was a good Dalek.
Who was Rusty?
You can't forget... He was the one that the Doctor went inside of. And yes, you can take that in whatever context you wish.
Right,
No, it was so because Rusty was attacked, and then he saw a star. He saw a star
Rusty
being
with?
born.
Was it Matt Smith or Peter Capaldi?
Capaldi. He was
Okay,
Capaldi.
yeah, somewhat rings a bell.
So they are complex beings.
No.
Kind of. If you've got a story like Genesis, you see where they came from, so they become complex. But if you're watching Remembrance, you'll see, they're just going to blow everything up. There's the two. There's the psychology side of them, and then there's
hang on,
let's kill
1
everything.
second. Right. Okay. Okay. Gonna. 1 second, guys. Right, you keep going. I'm gonna keep it going.
Okay,
keep it going.
so my question is, when Doctor committed what Deb said, you know, war crimes, were the Daleks complex, or the Daleks were exterminated?
It's twofold. Because the
Okay,
time
that is complex. That is
No,
complex.
the time-
Deb is right.
Here's the thing. The Time Lords. You could, whatever context you say this in, the Time Lords technically started the war when they sent the Doctor back to wipe them out, to basically stop them from being created, or avert their creation, find weaknesses, or change their genetic development, and the Doctor was going to blow them up. That was the initial, the thing that started the war. But both sides didn't want the war to happen, and when it did, the Time Lord started it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is complex. Okay, then Dev is right.
Oh, it's
Both
Dev.
times.
Is this why you've been offline for the last 10 minutes?
He's been looking for an Andy pose.
He can wear it proudly. He can wear it proudly because he's right. Because again, my knowledge, I thought Daleks were just exterminate. But if they're complex, then of course war crimes are you can accuse the Doctor.
Yeah, basically, he was doing things that Time Lords and the Doctor himself would never do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the psychology side of thing, if you watch the classic ones, he sees Daleks, he's sort of giving them a chance, but then after with the Ninth Doctor, no chances.
Guys, bear with
zero
me,
chances for them.
Bear with me here. I need to interject, right? We're about to be joined by the current Extreme Improv champion, Clint, who's just messaged me saying he needs to get in on this Doctor Who conversation. Hang on. Clint, we'll get to you in 1 second. We've had another interruption. Oh shit, it's Nick. So we have a full house. But Nick, I know I said the thing. But Clint, you're joining us for the first time. You have something, Doctor Who,
Yes.
say hello to the people.
Well, first of all, I want to thank David for this, because this is amazing.
Oh yes, you're welcome.
This has
You're very
been
welcome.
fantastic. I wear this everywhere, and people are like, what the hell are you wearing? Cap, you're asking, are the Daleks complex? David is saying, someone said yes, someone said no. If you wanted just a very broad idea of what the Daleks are, they're Nazis. Not Nazi Germany Nazis.
It's fair.
That's pretty much, if you want to have an idea of what they are. They're not. That's the whole reason
Not
why they
wrong.
were written.
Yeah.
Is that as Nazis.
Because when you go back to 1963, that was when the first show was, right? That's
Yeah.
It's not long removed, so that's what the allegory there was. And
Yeah.
when you go back to movies and stuff in the decades that followed, you'd have this very clear good guy, bad guy. And it's only when we get to the very late 90s that we start getting the General Zod's where, well, he has a point too kind of villain.
But that's saying Daleks are bad.
Yes. I was following along that whole conversation about Doctor Who, and I don't know if David saw it in the comments on YouTube, but I was just like, I gotta get in here. I gotta talk about this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but
No, in fact, Clint, I have some family stuff. I haven't been on. Oh, fantastic! Yeah, I haven't been on shows in a couple of weeks, and literally I've forgotten everything. I haven't been checking comments. Degrino says Jazz FM is still too much for some people. That's the whole nipple thing. We got loads of comments I forgot to respond to. But you say here
they're all me. All the comments are me.
Yeah, the 15th. Oh, we're on loads of platforms. The 15th Doctor. You say his emotional intelligence is higher than past Doctors. Could be. Maybe why he cries.
yeah, but that's
Exactly
not
why
just
he
one
cries.
But I think he
But,
cries too much. If you cry in every
wa-
episode, it's less mean. Oh, hang on. Are we doing this here, Clint? I see.
Are we doing this?
We're doing this. We're having
Again?
the sonic screwdriver off. Right. Oh, gonna drop his stuff. Where's the rest of mine? God damn it! Right. I've
I
got,
feel.
Hang on, 1 second.
I feel toyless.
you need to get these toys going.
You need to get a Sonic cap.
Yeah.
Hold on, I got it.
I only have the ninth one.
Hang on. Just gonna get it. There you go.
Clint, we will check in on these. Okay.
Wait, you know what? I want to hear Clint's thoughts on the phone from the screwdriver.
On the what?
On the vibrator
The
one.
phonic screwdriver.
This one?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's a mouse, though. There is this fact that it's a.
I think it's kooky enough. It's less phallic, which you can have your phallic ones or don't have your phallic ones. It's totally fine. But I think this is enough of a departure from just the single cylindrical looking one that I don't know. I think it's fun. I mean, is it easy to pull in and out of a pocket? No, but I mean, when has the Doctor ever care about pockets.
But what I get you're saying is you can do this. Oh, hang on, where is it?
You can't find the button.
There you go. Right. Okay, so Clint, do you have all of them?
I don't have River Song Sonic.
I do, but it's in a box, so I've never opened it.
Let's see. I've got.
Wait, hold on. River Song gets a Sonic?
Yeah.
The whole point is she gets a Sonic.
Did you saw Silence in the library, right?
This is like as a wedding gift.
Yeah. Okay, so one
I've
thing
got
that's
three.
always bothered me is you can't get the original Sonic screwdriver as like you can't buy it anywhere. Because I know it looks shit.
I haven't.
But
Wait, do you have an original Sonic
okay.
screwdriver?
no, I don't think
Like
they
the
sell
first one? Wait, no, they did.
Where? When?
Well, if you go to like a B&Q, mate, and you find like this metal tube, there you go.
Yeah, exactly. So like the original one, literally, it's just like a pen light. So...
Well, because it was a screwdriver.
No,
it was a
wasn't.
screwdriver.
It wasn't a
It did what? It did its job. It was a Sonic screwdriver.
Why don't they sell it? Look, not even that looks like the
It's
actual...
It's just a biro next to it.
Yeah, look, but yeah, so...
Why am I even here now?
Oh wait, is between Nine and the War Doctor, was that the Sharda one?
Oh, hang on, let's have a look.
Was that the Sharda screwdriver?
Yeah. I gotta dip out, but I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Okay, yeah, you do that. Clint is literally going to go and buy a Sonic. Right. Okay. Nick, whilst you're here, how are you?
I'm good. You have a geek fact, actually.
Thank God.
Wow. I'm gonna go now. Bye.
What? You just said you've got a geek fact.
So Dave Mr. Dave MC can attest to this. The Disney point is with 2 fingers, as you know, right? The Disney point. You know why it was designed like that? Because Mr. Walt Disney was an avid smoker, and when in a lot of his pictures, they cut out the cigarette. So even though he's holding a cigarette in most of the pictures, because it's Disney and they have a very strict no smoking policy anywhere in the parks, they just said, "Oh no, that's how he pointed at things."
Do you know what? Like, I think this is an urban legend because when you if you remember when Bill Clinton was the U.S. president, he would never directly point because it was seen as threatening, right?
Right.
That and also because it smelled of certain things. So they'd always have it so politicians would just point with their thumbs. Like Tony Blair did it, he'd point with this, da-da-da-da-da. Whereas you're definitely the end of Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
That's the idea.
Okay, is that your intention, Dave?
That was the idea.
Okay, because I'm going to bring that up because you had it absolutely spot on.
Wait, which hand? Is that hand, isn't it?
I can't remember, to be honest. And right, let's just have a look. So, this famous moment, like you've got it
side by side.
That's right. There you go. I'm not gonna lie, we don't speak about that film enough. That is just one of the best. Oh my god!
It's just one
Clint,
of the best.
you don't even realise what you've done. Clint,
You don't even realize.
Whoa!
you're in a car. So earlier, I don't know if you saw Tim. Tim is always in a car.
Tim is always in a car.
Oh, now we're getting an echo.
Yeah, I gotta pick up my kids.
Kids are Sonic screwdriver.
The kid's Sonic screwdriver.
Yeah.
There was a time early in my doctor, like when I first started watching Doctor Who about 15, 20 years ago, that I would carry around one of my Sonic screwdrivers with me everywhere I went. And when I would get on the train to like go up to work, I would press the button to open the door like before we got to the stop, and then I'd take out the Sonic screwdriver and I'd just hold up to the door for it to open for me.
That's amazing. I need to start doing that.
That's amazing.
I'll do it in France because no one knows what Doctor Who is here.
Does no one know what Doctor Who is in France?
It's not a thing.
Oh
It's not a thing.
Why are you out there?
Oh my god. Why are you out?
Because I'm married to a French person.
I'm gonna be there next month.
That's
No, secretly James French.
Shut up, cat!
We're getting epic echo. It's,
Echo!
Where you hear an echo of yourself like on a timeline, and then it makes it impossible to speak.
Sorry, say that again.
Exactly, it's that.
But Dave, I will be in Paris next month.
You'll be in Paris next month.
Yes.
Make sure you get a number.
Clint, I think the echo's coming from you now you're in the car. If you want to say something, give a wave and I'll unmute you.
okay. Is this better?
It is.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that solved it. There you go. Did you Sonic it?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Always the way.
Oh, Sonic.
the cure all for everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the thing is, like, we still haven't solved this whole thing of Clint's appearance. Is that are they complex? Are the Daleks complex?
No, they're
They're just evil. They're embodiment of evil.
They can be.
Thank
you,
Clint.
The beautiful thing about the Daleks is that they don't have to be.
I'd say, Clint, maybe you agree with me. I think Davros is more complex than the Daleks are.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree with that.
So
Because in the Davros audios, he didn't come up with the idea.
Mm.
In the audio.
Yeah,
That
which is
doesn't
canon.
count.
It is canon.
No,
He
it
didn't
shouldn't
come up
be.
with the idea.
Look, just because they brought in Paul McGann and he'd only done one episode, so they let him say the name of his other companions, doesn't mean the rest of it's canon.
It is.
Oh.
The audio stuff, the audio Time War stuff is canon.
I have heard that those are considered canon, but to the general Doctor Who fan, which I'm probably a little bit more above that, like I have never heard or listened to any of the Big Finish, so I have to just kind of like go off of what I've watched visually.
Yeah.
But I mean, I do like the idea of Davros not having coming up with the idea himself. That just makes it even more. That makes him even more complex, which I think is kind of a neat idea. Don't mind me.
What was that, David? What was that you said? I'm sorry, Dave. I didn't think it was canon. Oh,
No,
your apology is accepted. Your apology is accepted, David.
Literally, it's not canon. Just because Paul McGann was like, "Oh, you're bringing me in for 5 minutes to regenerate me," so I'm going to be like, "Oh, thank you."
Wait, is Paul McGann not
Jenny,
canon?
Polly, whatever the names are. Like, who cares?
So you're saying Paul McGann isn't canon anymore?
No, I'm just
As a
saying
person.
that
He's
just
not
because
real.
he said that one thing. Look, so in The Timeless Child, they showed all of those other Doctor faces from the Tom Baker Brain of Morbius episode. Are they canon?
Because their faces of,
Timeless
they
Child
could be
isn't
faces of
canon.
Morbius.
Moving
There
on.
were two.
Because
There were
the Timeless
two.
Child,
There were two
you
Time
meant that
Lords
they
on
were
there.
now-
I say this to everyone. I go, oh, they're the Doctor's faces. No, there was original intent for it, but Morbius was also attached to the machine.
Wait,
so they
the
could have
original
been
intent
his.
The only face of Morbius
Shut your face.
is Jared Leto.
But then when they showed them in The Timeless Child, why would it show that? Why would it show Morbius's face in The Timeless Child? Obviously, that's confirming it was the Doctor. Go on, Clint.
Also, remember in last season of Doctor Who, when what's his name was scanning 15th Doctor, this showed the Schalke Doctor as well.
Yes, absolutely.
But I
Hang on
I mean,
1 second. Or did it show the Curse of Fatal Death Doctor?
that they should have done that.
It was the same guy. So he was the Doctor twice. So I think because
okay,
they didn't
yeah.
show him as a cartoon, it canonizes so that Rowan Atkinson and Joanna Lumley and Jim
Yay!
Broadbent are also doctors.
Wait,
Yes!
Dr. Bean?
Yes.
Dr. Bean.
You're telling me that Mr. Bean is a doctor?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
Nick, yes.
Is
And
Isn't
that,
Hugh Grant a doctor as well?
other than the Weeping Angels, that's the only Doctor Who thing I've seen, and I really, really like that.
You should watch more, Cap. You'll like it.
I don't watch Doctor Who.
I got him watching Once Upon a Time at the moment, so I'm waiting to hear back from him on that front.
Literally.
Why?
Okay, so Stephen Moffat, who would go on to be the
Look
showrunner,
at
wrote
that.
this charity special of Doctor Who, where the Doctor starts off as Rowan Atkinson, and then he regenerated into, I believe, Hugh Grant next, or maybe
And then
Yeah.
the lady.
yeah, and then eventually
Then-
he becomes Joanna Lumley. But it's
Yeah.
actually a pretty good story. Other than
So-
the fact that
It's
they
really
Let me get this
wipe
straight.
out so many.
Loki was Doctor Who.
Yeah, Loki was Doctor Who.
I will say that my favourite joke in it is where the Master falls down in the pit and it takes him 900 years to climb out every single time.
Yeah, and also, okay, hang on, look, shout out, Jonathan Pryce as the Master, epic casting.
Yeah.
Canonize it. Go on, Clint.
Have you all seen Extras, Ricky Gervais show?
Yeah.
Is the episode that he was in as one of the monsters, is that considered canon?
Ricky Gervais, what, in Doctor Who?
No.
There's an episode of Extras where he plays a monster on Doctor Who during David Tennant's first run.
I don't think so, because that's
Ah.
in extras, not in the other way
Not
around.
in Doctor Who?
Oh, sorry. That's not canon.
Yeah,
but
because
audio
it wasn't
stories
in
that are attached
Doctor
to it.
Who.
Ah.
You know, I want Michael Sheen in a David Tennant Doctor Who episode.
What's that again? Sorry, Dev?
I want Michael Sheen in a David Tennant Doctor Who episode.
No, to be honest, like, I'm not the biggest Michael Sheen fan.
Who is he?
They're
He
great
played
together. They are
Kenneth
really great
Williams
together.
in a film about the Carry On Stars once. I wasn't named.
Wait, I want to see that.
I have a question for you,
Go on, then, Nick.
Mr. Clint. How would you feel if they would have cast one time an American actor to play Doctor Who for like one episode?
No, we've
They
done
did.
that before, Nick. It's not happening. Right? No,
Yeah,
okay,
it's never
go on,
gonna happen.
Clint, let's hear your take on that as an American.
I don't think so. No, I mean, I'd be okay with it. Obviously, as an American, like, oh, cool, an American's playing Doctor Who. I don't think it's necessary, and it actually kind of would be a little bit. As an American, I think it would be insulting to British people to have an American play Doctor Who, especially since Doctor Who is not as popular here as it is in the UK. Like, I'd be like, what? That's weird. There's so many other actors that could do the Doctor. You don't need to throw in us idiot Americans. We fuck everything up anyway. Don't give it to us.
I would take Nicolas Cage as Doctor Who.
You know what I would
Yes!
accept?
Yes, I am for this.
He just steps out the TARDIS and sees a Dalek for the first time. Just
I
oh.
Idris Elba with an American accent. I'd accept Idris
I-
Elba with an American accent.
I think that's what Doctor Who basically needs to do. If it wants to become very relevant, it needs to like either Liam Neeson the Doctor or who we said Nicolas Cage the Doctor. I think that could actually bring a lot of popularity to it.
Or Cap, it can do the one thing that it should have done from like the moment Jodie Whittaker stepped down. Retire.
No.
No, that's like
Doctor
killing
Who's,
Mickey
Doctor
Mouse.
Who's got to go on forever.
Retire it for a while. Take a
No,
break.
that's like killing Mickey Mouse.
I
You can't do
could
that.
get behind that.
I think
Oh, okay.
just look, the
Hey,
episode.
David.
Clint, did you see the episode from a couple of weeks ago? I assume that you see it. Yeah, it's on Disney Plus now. So the one where they go back to midnight.
Yes.
Hadn't that recaptured like the atmosphere, everything about that? It was, for me, that was the best episode. The last episode up there with that was the Jodie Whittaker, the first Weeping Angel, or yeah, the Weeping Angel one. I thought was good. They did something fun with it. But
I really liked the well. I liked that they returned to Midnight because Midnight is probably my favorite episode of all time.
Yeah.
So to go back to it, I thought like this is a bit. I tried to talk to my wife and kids about it. Like, you'll never guess what Doctor Who went back to Midnight. The diamonds have all been mined, and the creature's still there, just messing with them all. And my wife and kids like, Dad, shut up. We're watching something else. And I'm over here just like with my 7 Sonics, just being like, yeah. I did see though there was a behind the scenes like little
Dad,
vignette
shut up.
that
We're
they
watching
did.
Andor.
I know I do need to watch Andor. But there was a behind-the-scenes vignette that they did about what the creature looked like in that episode, and it kind of looked dumb. But I think that was more for just like the actors to react to something.
Yeah.
I don't think that's actually what the creature looks like, which thankfully it doesn't, because it did look kind of meh. But that episode I thought was great. I'm glad that they went back to midnight because I loved that episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said the same thing because I was saying to David that I assume you heard as well because I've been on and off with Doctor Who. Like when I went and watched it, it was kind of like, oh, okay, so they went back to midnight. That's a nice little step back into something that we've seen before, and we're going to see something new with it. I just feel like the damage for me, like the damage has been done. You know, like with the Timeless Child really left that sour taste in my mouth. You know.
Yeah, and same with me. Like talking about the Timeless Child, like Dave, I'm with you. I don't want to talk about it. It hurts too much.
Yeah.
It's,
Okay, hang on 1 second though. I've just found. Is this it, Clint?
Yes.
Oh, that doesn't work for me.
No.
Get rid of it. I don't like it.
I didn't realise because this is the freeze frame. Because I said it was just a shape. But if this is literally it, that does not work for me at all.
No.
It kind of. It's like the Sith Lord's helmet from Andor if it had just skin. No, it's the guy from the Acolyte.
Yeah.
And it looks like one of the creatures from Silent Hill.
It does look a bit like something from Silent Hill.
Yeah. So in my head canon, that was just something for the actors to react to. It's not a good monster look.
Yeah.
Oh my god! It's a round thing.
Yeah. It's just. I don't
It's
know.
rock face.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not nowhere near caught up with Doctor Who, but I am really enjoying it.
Yeah.
I just finished Matt Smith's run, and I'm about to start Capaldi. So
It's all downhill from here, my friend.
Right.
no, but my best friend, who's one of the reasons why I watch Doctor Who, told me that she loves Capaldi. You know, so.
I think I never returned back to Doctor Who because I saw the Weeping Angels with David Tennant and I saw the Matt Smith one that I really didn't like, and I was like, eh. So after that, I just.
So, Cap, like, I don't know what you could see it on if it's on Disney Plus or whatever. The episode Midnight that we've been speaking about, it works standalone. Another one I'd recommend from a similar era is The Waters of Mars. That's a really
What about the Satan one?
The Satan
Pet.
You mean
both of them?
Tier for me.
It was a two-parter with the Mars suit.
Yeah,
they
the
bring the Mars
Impossible
suit
Planet,
bunch
and then
a lot.
the Satan Pit.
Yeah.
I also would recommend The Unlikely Astronaut.
The Impossible.
Oh, the Impossible Astronaut.
Yeah.
The Impossible Astronaut. Thank you.
Ooh, so the Midnight episode is with David Tennant. I think I'll enjoy that.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the other one you recommended? Midnight and something about
the two-parter Silence in the Library. That's really good. Like, I love the monsters because, like, okay, so tiny spoiler. So blink is you can't blink, so you're now scared of blinking. You've worried about statues. Silence in the Library, it makes you worried about your shadow, right? The Waters of Mars makes you worry about water. The simplest ideas are the most effective. Clint, it's behind you! Clint, we just saw it, it's behind you!
Look out, Clint! There is no monsters behind you!
I'm doing pickup today with all the kids, so they're all here. I'm picking up 2 more. They're all in here with me. Just carpooling.
Yeah.
So
we guess like for me.
I don't want to share this with you guys. Sorry, I don't want to share this with my friends here on Geek Battle.
Yeah.
But across the street of my house, there's a fountain that has 4 angels in front of it. And then the first time I saw Blink, my girlfriend dropped me off at the house after watching it, and she was like, oh my god, there's 4 fucking angels right here. You're probably dead.
Yeah.
Talk to you later, babe. Love you.
Okay, guys. Dev, I'll come to you, but on this note, we're about to run into extreme improv time. So we will begin to have to wrap this one up. But Dev, you wanted to say?
Everybody here is recommending scary, suspenseful thriller episodes of Doctor Who. I would like to throw in the most sass-filled, funny episode of Doctor Who I've ever seen, which is the one where the Daleks fight the Cybermen.
Yeah, Doomsday. Yeah.
See, for me, I never really liked the Daleks. That's like the only thing that was like, yeah, okay, so they're just a British guy going around fighting.
Well, in that case, Cap, I would just recommend just one of them. I'd recommend Dalek. You asking if they're complex or not? I just recommend Dalek. With
I just want you guys to fight and explain things, okay? I really don't want to see the history of Dalek.
No, seriously. If you ask the question about complexity, I'd say go and watch Dalek.
Dalek and Dalek Manhattan as well.
I still don't find them
we're
cool
gonna come
enough.
to you, but then we're gonna have to do the wrap up, Clint.
Yeah.
I agree. Watch the episode Dalek, mostly just because it takes place in Utah, which is where I live. Even though you don't see any of Utah, it's all underground. But that is a fantastic episode.
Okay.
Yeah, that is. I just remember which episode that is. Yeah, that is a really good one.
Okay,
and that's a Christopher Eccleston episode too.
It is.
Yep.
Right. Well, the Christopher Eccleston. Look, all of until Stephen Moffat took over, and it was obviously too overwhelming. All of his episodes when he was just a writer are like the best ones. The Christopher, Are You My Mummy? Like best ones in that season. Right. Okay. Now, let's find out where we can find everyone. If you've got a geeky recommendation, let it be known. Dev.
You can find me on TikTok and Twitch under the name FWDAT. And my geeky recommendation is watch Karate Kid Legends, coming out next week.
Wow, that's cool. That's come around quick. Nick.
Here, basically. Watch Doctor Who. Start watching Doctor Who from whatever doctor speaks to you the most, and then
William Hartnell.
William Hartnell.
Start with William Hartnell, and then go to fucking what's it? Tom Baker. My favorite doctor has the scarf.
Your favorite doctor with the scarf?
No, not really.
What? Right. Anyway, Clint, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at bub BUB _rub RUBB, and you can also follow my improv account, which is the _improv _garage.
Awesome. Do you have a geeky recommendation?
Watch. I don't know if this is really geeky, but watch Dexter. If you haven't watched Dexter, watch it, and if you have, re-watch it.
I have.
For the last 2 years, I've been trying to speak about Dexter. No one has seen it.
I've been watching Dexter.
I've
been watching Dexter with my kid.
Yeah.
He's the little kid in the lab, right?
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, right. I want your son's reaction after he finishes season 1. If he's going to give the same reaction that I gave to David after I thought.
Cap, I want to see your reaction when you finish season 4. Right, Cap, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Sunday through I Sing, I Dance, I Throw Myself in a Bucket, and I work with puppets. And recently, I did a sketch where Mufasa and Scar tackles the 100 men versus one gorilla. And I have to recommend that because Dave is a voice actor in it, and he does a really mean Lance Eckerson voice impersonation. It's really good. Go check that out.
So here's my question. Throwing it back to Doctor Who. Could 100 Doctor Who's fight a Dalek?
Yes.
Yes.
You only need one doctor, or like 13 or something. Or all 12 of them, right? All 12 of them, they said, right? So 13. Where was the fugitive then? Right, anyway, Dave.
You can find me here on Xstreamed on various shows, and check out my YouTube channel, Dave MC Gaming, where I play video games and I talk bollocks to everybody or during a live stream. And check out this is my recommendation, check out my recent video I did with Cap on my channel, where we talk Assassin's Creed, where we chat who's our favourite assassin, who's our least favourite. Just go and check it out. We had a good time doing that show.
I can recommend that. It was awesome, actually.
Okay. Right, for me,
my
name is David.
What you guys got? That was me.
Okay, good. Right, now, my name is David Pastansky. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at David Pastansky, spelled Pustansky. You can also get any of my books, including the recently released Extreme Improv 2, bigger book of improv games, and I might have another book out very, very soon. But it's something completely different, but details on that will be sooner rather than later.
It's a Geek Battle book! It's a Geek Battle book!
Time will tell.
Chapter 1, How to Enrage Dave MC.
So I run an improv jam out of my garage, which is why I have my Instagram as the improv garage. And in my most recent jam, I brought out your book, David, and I said, choose a game, we'll workshop it, and we'll play it. So your book was involved in the most recent improv jam I did.
Well, that's awesome to hear. I like that it does get around, and so hopefully people find that useful. So my only other recommendation is check out my Geek Battle channel and check out my Geek Battle gaming channel because I've got some big videos that I've been working on which have had a little pause, but they should be starting to flow out soon. So with that, until next time, stay safe.